So we have the wonderful Leisa Briggs in the virtual house today. Leisa completed her 200-hour yoga training at Body, Mind, Life. She creates yoga classes that bring a person into their full alignment, both physically and spiritually. She will be running through a 45-minute energizing yoga session for neck and shoulder restoration, which I think is something we all probably desperately need a little more of right now. With most of us working from home, adjusting to this new way of life is definitely taking a toll on our body. So again, thank you for joining us. Leisa, I'll hand it on over to you.
Thank you, Kate. Welcome, everyone. I hope that you enjoy this class. I'm so excited to teach it, and I really believe that you're going to feel a real sense of restoration within your neck and shoulders. So let's just dive straight into it. We'll start with pranayama breathing. This is just to get you out of your head a little bit, back into your body to connect within yourself. So take a comfortable seated position. I'm actually sitting on a block with my legs crossed. I wanted to just be close to the camera just for a moment, and then we'll move back. Beautiful. So just rolling your shoulders back, something that your body is desperate for you to do. Reaching your shoulders up towards your ears. If you want to close your eyes, do that. Squeeze your shoulder blades down and then drop them down. Beautiful. And just pause here, closing your eyes. Just reconnecting with your breath here. Take a beautiful, big, full inhale breath in through the nose, filling up the space within your stomach, pushing out your belly button. On the exhale breath, retract the stomach back in. Inhale breath in through the nose, full belly breath. Exhale, sigh it out and release. One more, full belly breath. Exhale breath, sigh it out and release. Beautiful. We're starting in standing position. So for today's class, there'll be a couple of modifications that you can have. I've got some blocks. If you don't have blocks, it's more than fine. This class is designed for beginners. So there'll be 2 modifications that you can take, but everything else should be perfectly fine for you to handle. So coming to the top of the mat, if you have a mat, if you don't, that's no problem at all. What we're going to start with is some beautiful shoulder rolls. So bringing your shoulders up towards your ears, then squeeze your shoulder blades down your back and release. That's just creating a little bit of warmth in the shoulders before we get started on bringing some more movement towards the shoulder area, the neck area. Always keep your neck nice and straight in positions like this. And then rolling the shoulders forward. Here I encourage you to just take some really big full inhale and exhale breaths, just getting the body used to what it feels like to have that expansion in the lungs. Good. And then pausing here. Let's begin with our internal and external rotation of the shoulders. When we're going for poses like this, we're just trying to isolate the joint. I'll get you to just pause for a moment. But so many times we want to kind of reach our body forward and then we want to twist our body around. What I want you to do is just focus on the shoulder for this one, isolating the joint so that you're not moving with the arm. And that's going to really create a lot of lubrication in the shoulder area. When you're ready, the palm of the hand is facing towards the left side. You're reaching your right arm forward first. Your thumb is going to lead. You're going to just stretch it up towards the ceiling. When you reach the top of the head, I know it's hard to see my hand, what it's doing now, but it's in the same position. And then I'm going to rotate the hand. So the fingertip is now leading. Bringing it forward, reaching it out. Remember, try not to reach forward. You're just using that rotation with the shoulder. Thumb leads to begin, reaching it up towards the sky. Take an inhale breath. Exhale breath, turn the hand so the pinky finger now leads. Beautiful, a couple more. Remembering to take those beautiful breaths. Inhale breath as you reach forward. Reach the arm right up towards the ceiling, then rotate, pinky finger leads. One more. Already you should be feeling nice and warm. You should also maybe hear a couple of cracks in the shoulders. That's more than fine and it's very normal. When you're ready, Leading with your left arm, pinky finger leads, reach it up towards the sky, maybe a little bit further. Flip the hand, pinky finger leads. Inhale, breath, reach the arm up, isolating the joint, remembering to keep the core still, keeping the shoulders still. It's just that beautiful arm getting some movement. A couple more. Inhale, breath. Reverse the hand, exhale, breath, pinky finger leads. Beautiful. Last one. Good. Now we're going into some nerve tendon. You'll feel a little bit of nerves firing off in this one, but this is really beautiful, especially for us desk workers with our neck. So you're going to extend your right arm off to the side. And then you're going to drop your left ear down towards your left shoulder. And you're just going to pause here. You're going to feel some different sensations in the hand. What's the most important part about this stretch is your fingers are facing up towards the ceiling and you're really stretching your arm off to the side. Stretch it out just a little bit further and continue to drop the left ear down towards the left shoulder. Now is a good time to take a beautiful inhale and exhale breath. Continue to reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Good. Keep the neck where it is. And then you're just going to bring the palm of the hand nice and close towards your cheek and then lift your elbow up towards the sky. Trying not to move too much with the spine, keeping the spine nice and straight. Take an inhale breath here. And then on the exhale, reach the elbow up just a little bit higher towards the sky. You'll feel that beautiful stretch all in the arm, the neck, the shoulder. Beautiful. Stretch the arm out, bring the head back to normal, drop the arm and just shake out the hand a little bit. Switching over to the other side, left arm extends out to the side. Drop your right ear down towards your right shoulder. Just roll your shoulders back a little bit here just to get that beautiful stretch. Stretch the arm out just a little bit further, being conscious of having the fingertips facing up towards the sky. Inhale and exhale breath. If you want to close your eyes, close your eyes. One more breath. And then we're bringing the palm of the hand close towards our cheek. Keep your neck where it is. So palm of the hand is close towards the cheek, but it's just extended a little bit out, and then reach the elbow up towards the sky. Reach it up just a little bit further, just to feel that beautiful stretch. One more breath. Good. Release and extend the arm off to the side and then shake it out. Good. So you're already at the top of the mat. I'm just going to turn back to face the direction that I want you to be in. We're going into Tadasana. So your feet are firmly placed together. So your big toes should be touching, ankles touching. Tuck your pelvis under here and just have a nice strong foundation with the lower part of the body. On the inhale breath, sweep the arms up towards the sky and have your gaze look up at the fingertips. Often we're hunched over at our desks and our spine can be impacted by that. So here, I want you to just reach your fingers up towards the sky just a little bit more, drawing the rib cage away from the hips. Beautiful. One more breath here. Reach a little bit further. Good. On the exhale breath, swan dive your hands off to the side from a flat back, diving down into your first forward fold. Just let everything hang here. If it's a little bit too strenuous for your hamstrings, I encourage you to bend your knees slightly. Just let your whole upper body be very, very heavy. It doesn't matter if you can't touch the earth. And just breathe here. Crown of the head facing down towards the mat. With your fingertips, I want you to imagine that you're tracing them through a beautiful running stream of water. And you're just being very delicate as you move from left to right, just swaying gently, picturing what it feels like to have your fingers in beautiful cool water. Take an inhale breath here. Take an exhale breath and sigh it out. Good. Pausing here in the stillness. Opposite hand grabbing opposite elbow. And we're just going to release a little bit of tension in our shoulders here. So you're just going to almost shuffle your elbows off to one side and then back. So back and forth, left to right, just shaking and releasing the shoulder tension. Chin to chest, crown of the head, still facing down towards the mat. If you haven't taken a breath in a little while, feel free to take an inhale and exhale breath. Good, and pausing here. Bend your knees, place your hands on either side of your feet. Take your left leg back behind you and stretch it out. Just pause here, feel the beautiful stretch of the inner thigh. Then when you're ready, take your right foot back into high plank. Good. Pausing here in high plank, round out the shoulders, then drop down to your knees, untuck your toes, shift your shoulders over your fingertips and slowly make your way down towards the mat. Beautiful. Readjust your hands so that your wrists are directly underneath your elbows, and then just push up into cobra, or you can just have a little micro baby cobra here. Squeezing the elbows in towards one another. When you're ready, pushing yourself up, tuck your toes under and meet in our first downward facing dog. Exhale breath. It's really nice in this stretch, especially for our first downward dog, to kind of just bend one knee at a time. Just bringing some warmth into the hamstrings so that on the next downward facing dog, you feel a little bit more agile in this position. Inhale and exhale breaths. The importance with yoga is just to connect ourselves to our breath. When you're ready, gaze looks forward, bend your knees, and just take some little baby steps towards the front of the mat. Nice and slow. Good. When you're ready, peeling yourself up nice and slowly. And then take a couple of shoulder rolls here. Match them with a beautiful inhale and exhale breath. Good. We're moving into a little bit more shoulder and neck work. You're probably thinking, thank goodness. So I'll just turn myself towards the back. What we're going to do is our right hand is going to wrap behind our lower back and just grab a hold of that left elbow, not ankle, elbow. Then from here, you're going to drop your right ear down towards your right shoulder. And what's really important in this stretch is just to kind of take your shoulders down and back. Then you'll feel the stretch. And see if you can kind of activate your glutes a little bit as well. Just to keep the mind active, to make sure it's not kind of drifting off a little bit, to let your mind know that you are still working, even though you feel a state of relaxation. See how you go if you feel comfortable to close your eyes. Feeling the beautiful stretch on the left side of the neck. Bringing some self-care back into our joints, into our beautiful necks and shoulders that we often forget about. And it's beautiful to hold these poses just for a little bit longer before we rush off into our day. When you're ready, you can open your eyes and just see what I'm about to do next. So I'm going to just trace my chin down towards my right collarbone. My gaze is now looking down towards the right side, and I'm just going to pause here. Continue to take your shoulders back, and your chin is just resting kind of on your right collarbone, if it can reach that far. If not, you kind of get the idea that we're stretching the back left of the neck now, just a different position. Continue to monitor those shoulders, keeping them drawn back and down. Continue to find your breath. The more we take those beautiful inhale and exhale breaths, the more that we can relax our body into the pose, into the stretch. Good. When you're ready, bring your neck up. Just give a little shoulder roll as you release the arms down towards the side. Moving on to the other side. So your left hand now wraps behind your lower back and grabs hold of your right elbow this time. Roll the shoulders, draw the shoulders down and away from the ears. When you feel comfortable in that position, drop your left ear down towards your left shoulder. And if it feels okay for you, close your eyes. In these types of poses as well, we're tempted to kind of arch our back a little bit because it feels comfortable, especially for females. We tend to stick our glutes out a little bit. See if you can tuck your glutes under and really try and keep an aligned spine. Continue to just draw through that breath. Feeling how beautiful it will feel at the end of this class to have a little bit of ease in the joints, in the muscles. When you're ready, your chin slowly draws down to your left collarbone and gaze looks down towards the left. You should feel that different kind of stretch in the right side of the neck now, and just pause here. Take a full belly breath. Exhale, drop the shoulders down just a little bit more. Good. One more, full belly breath. Inhale. Beautiful. And release the shoulders down. Excellent. Releasing the hands. Bring the head back to neutral. Just shaking out. Roll the shoulders a couple of times. I'm going to meet you back at the top of the mat. From here, we're going into some neck circles. So a lot of the time, especially when we start to age, we stop moving our neck as much. And that's why you see elderly people, when they're turning their head, they have to turn their whole body. If you have grandparents, you can kind of see that they tend to move their entire body every time that they turn their neck, because there's a calcification that starts to develop when we're not bringing some movement back into our neck. So if your neck is beautiful and healthy, you can take some neck circles. If you feel like you've got a lot of neck tension, then you can just drop your neck down towards one ear, one shoulder, sorry, and then the other. And then you can go back and forth. If you feel like you've got a really healthy neck mobility, then you can just take some beautiful neck circles. And it's just going to free up a little bit of space in our neck so that we can have more expansion and movement in our neck, and we're not feeling as tight, especially if you've slept a little bit funny throughout the night. It's nice to just take a nice slow neck roll, and really slowing it down prevents you from having further injury or pulling certain parts of the neck, especially when you haven't done this in a really long time. When you're ready, roll in the opposite direction. If you have a little bit of vertigo, if you feel a little bit lightheaded, maybe open your eyes for this one. It'll just help you to connect to the room around you. Beautiful. And then just a couple of shoulder rolls to release. Excellent. We're going into my favorite combination of movement connected with breath work. And I really encourage you to just take your mind out of it. Take your mind out of how it should look, how it should feel, and just be excited that you get to have a body that is so agile and able to do yoga. That's all I want you to be thinking about. So this is Surya Namaskar A. We're going to be doing 3 rounds of this, just really slow, connecting the movement with the breath. When you're ready, inhale breath, really fully reaching the arms up towards the sky. On the exhale breath, swan dive the hands off to the side from a flat back. Inhale breath, halfway lift, your hands can be above or below the knee. Exhale breath, fold forward. Inhale breath, take your hands down to the mat, bend your knees. Take your left foot back into runner's lunge. Right foot joins into high plank. Drop your knees. Exhale breath, Chaturanga Dandasana, lowering yourself down. Inhale breath, baby cobra or cobra if you're ready, upward facing dog. Exhale breath, downward facing dog, just sliding yourself back into the position and just connect with your breath and your mind here. When you're ready, gaze looks forward, bend your knees slightly. You can baby step towards the front of the mat or step fully. Inhale breath, halfway lift. Exhale breath, fold forward. Inhale breath, slowly reaching your arms up towards the sky. And then bring your hands into prayer position in front of the chest and just reconnect back with yourself here. Take the shoulders away from the ears. Draw your shoulder blades down your spine. Close your eyes. And just find your natural rhythm of breath, but try and make it more expansive. When we can release the breath fully, we're churning through the old carbon dioxide and releasing the overused carbon dioxide within our body, and releasing it and replenishing it back in with new oxygen. That's why you feel so incredibly amazing after you take a full breath in and exhale and release. Good. When you're ready, lower the hands down to the side of the body. Inhale breath, reach the arms up towards the sky, maybe reaching a little bit further than you did before. On the exhale breath, swan dive the hands off to the side, have a beautiful flat back as you make your way down towards the mat. Halfway lift, hands can be on the mat, below the knee or above the knee, but just try and keep a beautiful flat back from here. Exhale breath, fold forward. Inhale breath, hands come down towards the mat, bend your knees. Take your right foot back this time and see what that feels like. Take your left foot back into high plank. Beautiful. Drop down onto your knees, untuck the toes, lower yourself down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale breath, baby cobra, cobra or upward facing dog. Ready to drive yourself back into downward facing dog. You can start to tuck the toes under here and then just shift your weight back. Exhale breath. Beautiful. If you still feel like your hamstrings are a little bit tight, just drop your knees down. Bend your knees, drop your heels one at a time. When you're ready, gaze looks forward. Go ahead and bend your knees and step or baby step towards the front of the mat. Inhale breath, halfway lift. Exhale breath, fold forward. Inhale breath, slowly peeling yourself up, vertebrae by vertebrae. Reaching the arms up towards the sky. Hands come into prayer position and bring your hands in front of your chest. Maybe nestle your thumbs in towards your heartbeat. Close your eyes and see if you can feel your heartbeat. Feeling that beautiful connection with the body, with the breath, with the mind. Release the hands down to the side. Open your eyes. Inhale, breath. Reach the arms up towards the sky. Lifting your rib cage up and away from your hips. Stretching the arms just that little bit further. Exhale, breath. Swan dive the hands off to the side, flat back. Inhale, breath. Halfway lift. Exhale, breath. Fold forward, nice and heavy. Inhale, breath, lower the hands down, bend the knees, left foot goes back, right foot joins into high plank. Resting your knees down, untuck the toes, shift your shoulders forward, Chaturanga Dandasana, squeeze the elbows in towards the side body. When you're here, just shift your hands, wrists should be underneath your elbows, draw the elbows in. Baby Cobra, you're lifting your chest up off the mat, or full cobra, or upward facing dog. If you're in upward facing dog, make sure your wrist is in alignment with your shoulder. If you're in upward facing dog, tuck the toes. Exhale, breath, downward facing dog. Beautiful, and just take those full inhale and exhale breaths. Good. When you're ready, drop down into your knees and come into high tabletop. And just begin a couple of rounds of cat and cow here. So have a look at your shoulders, make sure they're directly above your wrists. Your fingertips are evenly spread out. Then make your gaze look down at your knees. Make sure that your knees are in alignment with your hips. Just have a quick look back at your feet and just bring your heel in alignment with your knee. Then when you're ready, drop the stomach down, gaze looks forward, lift your tailbone up. Make your chest beautiful and proud. Then tuck the tailbone under, vertebrae by vertebrae, slowly arching your spine, rounding out the shoulders, chin to chest. Beautiful, dropping back down. And then exhale, breath, slowly curling the spine. One more, inhale, breath. Lower the stomach down, lift the tailbone. This is beautiful for your lower back. Exhale, breath, reaching just a little bit further, as though somebody's got a belt in your midriff and lifting you up from your midriff. Beautiful. When you're ready, make your way down. So your hips are now directly over your ankles, your feet. You're now resting on your feet. Keep your knees at hip width distance apart. You're just resting here. If this is too much, then if you've got a block or a pillow, place it under your glutes just to elevate yourself a little bit so you're not putting too much pressure on your knees. This is the section where I mentioned that there will be a little bit of a modification, but not yet. This one, most of you should be able to do. So you're interlacing your hands behind your back, and then you're drawing your knuckles down towards the mat. So I'm squeezing my shoulder blades together, drawing my knuckles down. Again, it's tempting to want to arch the spine a little bit, but try and keep your front rib cage directly over the top of your hips, keeping a beautiful straight spine. And that will allow the isolation just to be in the shoulders, opening up the chest. And if you have been suffering with a little bit of tension in the shoulders, this is such a beautiful way to release it. Good. When you're ready, bring your hands forward and just rest them on your thighs. And I'm just going to get you to look at the screen for a second. So this is the modified version. So what we're going to do is we're holding a lot of tension in our head area. That's why sometimes we have lots of jaw pain when we're sleeping, we're grinding our teeth, we're bringing a lot of tension into our head, which is causing headaches and migraines. So this next section of our poses is really beautiful just to release the tension in the head when you just need a little bit of relief. So the modified version of this is to interlace the hands behind your back. You're still bringing your knees at hip width distance apart. You're going to lower yourself down onto the mat, forehead resting onto the mat. Then from here, you can slowly just bring the hands up towards the ceiling, towards a comfortable position. For the more advanced version, you're going to slowly just bring your hips forward to the front of the mat, sucking your belly button in, and instead of having the shoulders drawn down, you're lifting your shoulders up and away from the ears. And it looks like a relatively hard pose, but once you feel it in the crown of your head, you'll feel quite safe. And that beautiful pressure that forms in the crown of the head, you'll feel a great sense of release. Then when you come back into seated position, you're still moving on your crown of your head towards your forehead. So pick whichever option that you want to take for today, and you can move forward in the advanced section a little bit later if you need to. So when you're ready, for everyone, lowering your forehead down onto the mat, putting that beautiful pressure there, releasing the tension in the head. Interlace the hands, and they're slowly reaching up towards the ceiling. The more advanced version, we're taking our hips forward. Suck your belly button in, draw the shoulders away from the ears, reaching the arms up towards the sky from nice straight arms. One more breath. Hopefully you've heard a couple of cracks here. It's better than going to the chiropractor. Then when you're ready, slowly taking the hips back down towards the heels, at the same time lowering the hands down, keeping the pressure on the head. Beautiful. For everyone, wherever you are, place your hands down onto the mat and bring your knees nice and close together. We're going to rest in child's pose. Hands are on either side of the body, and just let the arms hang. Let them be beautiful and heavy. Fingertips facing down towards the back of the mat. Now let's release some of our jaw tension. But first, we're just going to sway from left to right with our hips. Forehead is still on the ground, and we're just having some beautiful movement across the forehead, just to release any further tension in the head area. If you haven't taken a breath in a little while, then just take a beautiful inhale breath in through the nose, sigh it out of your mouth. Good. Pausing in the stillness here. So with our jaw, you're going to make the motion that you're about to yawn. So really opening up your mouth, taking a nice big yawn position with your mouth, opening it up nice and wide, then bring it back to normal. Once again, opening up the jaw as though you're about to have a beautiful big yawn, and then bring it back to normal. One more, opening up nice and wide, releasing that jaw tension, and then bring it back to normal, but open your mouth slightly this time. You're going to move your lower jaw over towards the left. So it's just the lower jaw that's moving. Take the lower jaw over to the left and then over to the right. And then just continue that motion, moving the lower jaw left to right. Beautiful. And then just pause there, closing your mouth. Take an inhale breath and just check where your tongue is sitting. And move your tongue, if it's sitting in the upper part of the jaw, take it down towards the lower jaw and just let the tongue rest there. Releasing the tension in the face, just let your face be heavy, let it hang. Beautiful. Then when you're ready, slowly making your way back up. It's like you're in a different world now, isn't it? Take your hands all the way forward to the front of the mat. And then tuck your toes under, and we're going to meet into high plank. So shifting the shoulders over the wrists Draw the heels back towards the back of the room. Good. Then lower the knees, untuck the toes, then just make your way down onto the mat, onto your belly. Good. I'll just adjust myself a little bit so that you can see everything that's about to happen. So your elbows are directly under your shoulders here. Fingertips are evenly spread apart. You're just going to really lift your chest up and away from your elbows. See what it feels like to squeeze your glutes and try and merge your inner thighs towards one another. Catch your breath. And then you're going to pretend as though somebody has a golf ball underneath your chin. And instead of moving our entire neck, we're only just going to keep hold of that little golf ball underneath our chin. And we're just going to move our neck from the left shoulder and then all the way over to the right shoulder. Keeping yourself lifted away from those elbows. And don't forget to breathe. Just bringing a natural state of breath into the body for this one. You just feel that beautiful release of the neck. Good. Then bring your gaze forward. Where your hands are, you're going to squeeze the glutes together, point the toes, and really create some activation in the lower part of the body. Then what you're going to do is just push yourself through the palms of the hands and straighten out the arms. Gaze looks forward, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the inner thighs together. This is a beautiful technique to release some pressure in the lower back. And then lower yourself back down. Good. As you can see, the palms of the hands are directly in front of the elbows. You're just going to move them onto either side of you now. If you've got a mat, then the gauge would be to have your thumbs on either side of the mat. Then when you're ready, you're going to do the exact same thing from a nice squeezing your lower part of the body, stretching your arms up, lift your chest up. Good. Keep the glutes nice and tight. And that will just create some beautiful pressure in the lower back. Then from here, draw your stomach in. And that changes the pose, doesn't it? Beautiful. Lower yourself back down. Go into a beautiful morning stretch. Reach your arms forward, drop your forehead down onto the mat. Point your toes and just reach yourself as much as you can, as though somebody is pulling your arms forward, somebody is pulling your legs. Reaching, reaching, reaching. Good. All right, let's release some of that shoulder tension a little bit more. So bring your left arm, make it parallel with the front of the yoga mat. Then your right arm is going to extend off to the side. Then you're going to move the left hand over just in alignment with your nipple line here. You're going to push yourself and roll onto that right shoulder. Then you're going to bring your knees at a 90-degree angle, a little bit closer towards the chest. Lowering the head down, making sure that you've got a nice long neck, so you're not crunching it up. So if you need to lift your head and just move your head a little bit further forward to keep that beautiful alignment with the spine, with the neck, and just let the body do what it's naturally doing right now. You don't need to push into the pose. The greatest thing for you to do now is to take some breaths, just to soften the muscles. Good, one more breath. When you're ready, extend the legs. I'll explain why my voice is being lost later. Extend the legs back behind you. Your right arm can now move in front of the nipple line. Left arm reaches out towards the side. And then when you're ready, you're just going to push through onto that left shoulder. Lower the head down, bring the knees up at a 90-degree angle. Just adjust yourself a little bit, making sure that your neck is beautiful and extended. And then soften the body. In any type of pose that our mind tells us that we haven't done before, we tend to tighten up, and that's what we're trying to prevent today. We've been tightening up a little bit too much, and we're bringing too much pressure into our joints and our muscles. So just release today. Good. When you're ready, extend the legs back behind you. Roll yourself back onto your stomach. Place your hands on either side of you. Then you're just going to push yourself through to child's pose. So this is something called a counterbalance. So we've been working our lower back, our middle back. So here in this pose, we're just going to release some of that tension. Reaching the arms forward, have your elbows lifted off the mat. That just creates a little bit of activation down the side body. Your forehead is rested nice and peacefully on the mat. Tuck the toes, extend yourself up through downward facing dog before we move into our last pose. When you're ready, walk the hands back towards the feet. And just go into a beautiful forward fold here. When you're ready, rising up to Tadasana. Okay, you're going to turn yourself towards the left side of your yoga mat. Feet are parallel, so you're just going into a beautiful wide side angle pose. So feet are parallel, facing towards the left. You're going to interlace the hands behind you, and from a flat back, slowly start to draw yourself down whilst reaching the arms forward. A modified version of this is to have the hands down onto the mat or hands on the hips with a flat back. If your hands are interlaced and reaching up towards the ceiling, tuck your chin towards your chest and focus on having the crown of the head moving down towards the mat. One more breath here. And then release, slowly taking the hands down, resting on top of the tailbone. Hands on your hips and slowly make your way up. Beautiful. Heel and toe your feet together. Then when you're in a position to walk towards the front of the mat, bend your knees and come down onto the mat. Stretch your legs out in front. Have a nice, beautiful flat spine. So you're going to have your hands behind you and just slowly start to draw your chest forward. If you feel really flexible, then you can walk your hands to a position where you feel like you can just pause here. If you want, you can grab a hold of the feet wherever you are today. Cooling the body down. Beautiful. Go into a bound angle pose. So bringing the bottoms of the feet together. If you don't feel very flexible to bring the feet as close to your pubic bone as you can, then just extend them a little bit further out in front. Your hands can then wrap around the toes and then slowly start to arch the spine and then draw your forehead down towards your toes, chin to chest. Beautiful. Coming back up, extend your legs out, make your way down onto your back. Hug your knees in towards your chest, and this is beautiful, even as an isolated movement for anybody that has lower back pain. And just move and sway your knees from left to right. Continue to breathe fully. It's almost like you're giving yourself a little bit of a massage. And this next pose coming up is great for your digestive system. So extend your left leg out. Keep your right knee hugged in towards your chest. Flex your feet and then just take some circles with your right ankle. Go in one direction and then move in the opposite. Good, and then switch over to the other side. Hug your left knee in, right leg stretches out, flex both of the feet, and then take some circles with your left ankle. And then in the opposite direction. And then release. Fan the feet out. Just spending a couple of minutes in Shavasana. Palms of the hands facing up towards the ceiling. If you feel like you need a little bit more grounding, then palms of the hands face down towards the mat. Lift up your shoulders and tuck your shoulder blades underneath yourself. If you need to put a jumper on, go ahead and do that. Or if you've got a blanket, just rest it over your body. And just quieten down your mind. Forgetting about everything that you've got to do today. Just focus on your breath. Releasing the tension within your jaw. Release your scalp. Soften your forehead. Just merge yourself in with the earth. Almost like your body is just slowly drifting into the earth, making it nice and heavy. Continue to breathe. Then when you're ready, wriggle your fingers, wriggle your toes. Keep your eyes closed and just slowly make your way up into a seated position. Hands on your knees, sitting up with a straight spine. Keep your eyes closed. Take a full inhale breath in through the nose for 4 counts. Hold the breath for 4 counts. And then release out through the mouth 4 counts. Inhale breath in through the nose, eyes closed. Hold the breath for 4 counts. Exhale breath 4 counts. One more. Inhale breath. Pause and hold for 4. Exhale out through the mouth 4 counts. That's a beautiful technique to release anxiety within the body if you ever need that one. Hands come into prayer position in front of the chest, bowing your head down, saying to ourselves and to each other, Namaste. Well, I hope you feel very relaxed and as though I have helped in some way to release some shoulder and neck tension. I feel better.
Oh my gosh, you're amazing.
Good, Kate.
I was this close to just being like, you know what, Lisa, you can wrap us up today.
I could spend the whole day doing yoga.
Yes, absolutely. Well, look, as I mentioned, everybody, if you have any questions, please add them in the Q&A. You can also ask them in the chat. Oh, thank you so much, Stephanie, and thank you so much, Kate. Thank you for being here this morning. Whilst people are popping in their questions, if they do have them, I guess I'll start us off. I was just wondering, how often should we be doing a practice like this if we are sitting at a desk 5 days a week?
Yeah, it'd be beautiful to do at least a couple of the stretches throughout the day. I think every
Okay.
day it's really, really important just to have some beautiful neck motion,
Yeah.
because we don't want that calcification to develop in our neck. And
Yeah.
even just a couple of shoulder rolls, it's just so simple to do, but we really
Mm.
forget to do it. But any type of that routine, if you really want to feel beautiful and relaxed within your body, then do it 3 times a week.
Okay.
That will just help you to feel more aligned. It's
Yeah.
going to prevent you from having injuries. And I've gone from not being able to make my bed in the morning and throwing out my big doona cover because my
Yeah.
lower back and shoulders were tense. So after doing yoga, I feel a million times better. So I really suggest 3 times a week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I think everyone at the
Adam.
moment is really feeling that tension.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, beautiful. Well, it doesn't look like anyone has any questions. I'm sure they're all like in Nirvana.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, Linda's just asked, I missed the first
Yeah.
few minutes. What is your dog's name and how old?
Oh, I'm so glad someone asked. This is Charlotte. Charlotte, do you want to hop up for mummy? Good girl, come here. Charlotte is 4.
Oh,
She's a Kelpie Cross Lab and she's a little yogini herself.
oh
She
my
gets very
gosh.
zen when I'm doing yoga. Yeah. She's
Beautiful.
been for a very big walk so that she could relax today for this.
Yes,
Yeah. Thanks
absolutely.
for asking, Linda.
Now, Lisa, would you mind letting people
Yeah.
know where they can find you and what you've got going on at the moment?
Yeah, sure. So I'm through a website called Those Magnolia Eyes,
Yeah.
and we have 5 classes that run throughout the week online. We've got classes, if you're in Sydney, we're actually starting classes in Centennial Park and the Domain, and
Okay.
then we're having a coffee afterwards. So it's
Oh,
really about connection, this
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
So come along in the sunshine, and then we'll have a coffee after at Homestead in Centennial Park. And if we're in the Domain, then we're going to that beautiful cafe called the Terrace. So it's nice
Cool.
to make friends as well that way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. I think that's something else we also really need
we
after
do.
lockdown and isolation. Well, could
Yeah,
you send me those details? Because what I'll do,
yeah,
everyone, is
sure.
I'll send through a follow-up email with all those details so that you guys can connect afterward, and also so you can connect with Lisa.
Yeah,
Now, I will also let you know we do have one more complimentary yoga session with Lisa on Wednesday, the 28th of October at 12 p.m. That's going to be addressing kind of anxiety through yoga and how to release that anxiety. So if you'd like to join us then, please register via Eventbrite, or you can register via the Victory Office's website. Otherwise, I think we can wrap it up there. I hope to see you
yeah.
guys all again really soon online. And Lisa, thank you so much for a wonderful
You're
session.
welcome. Yeah, this was beautiful. Thanks, everyone.
It
Lovely to
was.
see you virtually.
Right. Good morning, everyone. Have a great
Bye.
day.
Have a great day. Bye.